Today I'm going to show you guys my current mixing setup. I consider it probably the poorest of poor man setups if you have a turntable. So the way this works is I'm able to mix and beat match with only one turntable. And I'll show you how that works here in a little bit. Let me give you a little more detail about this particular turntable. I got it for $15 at a random thrift store in Dallas. They sell a whole bunch of old electronics. I can't remember the name of it, but it was for $15 and it was sold not working. So I was like, screw it. $15 isn't a huge investment, especially for a turntable. That's freaking good. And turns out it was simple problem in the tone arm. There was a short somewhere up here by the this socket connector right up here. There's 4 pins, and one of them was shorting onto the tone arm itself. So anyways, that's that. Really cheap turntable. It's Gemini XL500. It's pretty crap as far as torque goes. I mean, it's okay. I haven't calibrated. There's some screws on the bottom to actually mess with the torque and all that, but I haven't messed with that. So let me show you the basic setup. I don't have a mixer. I don't have a preamp for the phono. I don't have a lot of what would be considered the minimum. I think I'm kind of making up my own minimum requirements for mixing. So, yeah. Alright, so this particular piece of software is called mixxx, and it's with 3 X's. It is free. You can download it at mixxx.org, and it works on both Windows, works on Windows, Mac OS X, and Ubuntu, or probably not just Ubuntu. I'm sure it works. Yeah, see, it works for other Linux distributions. And it's pretty cool. It gives you all the basic features you need, including using time-coded vinyl, which I bought for, I think it was $12 or $15 on eBay shipped. I don't quite remember, but in that range. This particular one is the Serato, I think it's the version 2. That's the one I got. You can use the Tractor Scratch vinyl. Actually, I can show you here. Vinyl control. You have, Serato, CD. Well, that doesn't apply in the Tractor Scratch. Those are your options. And I found this one the cheapest, so that's what I got. So let me take you through a little bit how this works. So this is really jerry-rigged. Like I said, I don't have a preamp. You see the phono goes, which are the RCA, these RCA cables, goes straight from the turntable, go into this adapter right here, which goes to a 1/8 inch, which the 1/8 inch goes into this coupler right here, which is a female-female coupler, to another 1/8 inch, which goes into my computer as a line input. Oops. And then I'm using ASIO for all. Then I go up here, and in my preferences, I set in the vinyl control to my Serato, and I'm doing side B right now, so that's correct. And then I also have, this is not focusing correctly, come on now, sorry about that. Sound hardware, I have in the input for the vinyl control 1 and 2, I have them set to the same input because I'm using one turntable. So they're both going to be the same for the left and the right side. And I'll show you how that works. It's very simple. And then obviously for the output, I have my master as my speakers, and then the headphones as my headphones. And that's to actually do my mixing with. So what I really like about this software is all the shortcuts. I'm sure that's standard for Tractor Scratch and such, but it's very nifty. So as you can see, T and Y correspond to the left or right channels going to your headphones. So that's cool. And then you have other shortcuts, and the particular one that's very important for this is the vinyl control. Enable vinyl control, Control Y and Control U. So this is very important because we're going to toggle these when we want to switch to the left or the right channel that gets used on this. So I'll show you how that works right now actually. So I'm going to start up the turntable. And right now we don't have one set, so I'm going to hit Control Y and set it to our left channel. So that's all going good. So now while that one's going, we can hit Control Y again, and it'll keep playing at whatever tempo it was at whatever speed. Okay, so it'll just keep going just fine. So now I'm going to hit Control U, and you'll see this one will start playing. I'll hit Y so I can hear that on my headphones. Then you can beat match this particular one, since this right channel is now controlled by the turntable. And you can, just change your pitch, do whatever you need to do to actually beat match it. I'm not going to do that right now. And then you would just crossfade over. You get the idea. That's basically the idea. You just alternate which one gets controlled by the turntable and crossfade over. I mean, that's the basic gist. So now this one's going again, and I can control this one with the turntable. So that is the absolute poor man's setup using this free software called mixxx, a really cheap turntable. The Serato Scratch version 2 vinyl, time-coded vinyl, and this is actually the most expensive thing out of my whole setup. It's this particular cartridge. I think it was $80, and I believe this one's made for time-coded vinyl, but it can also play other vinyl. So yeah, that's my basic setup. Works pretty well. I mean, it's kind of hard to use, I guess, because I do have a MIDI controller, which my keyboard here, but I don't have anything set to the crossfaders or anything like that. So if you have a MIDI controller already, you can probably use that to help with your mixing, because right now I'm just using the shortcuts to fade over and stuff. So it's the basic idea. Hope you guys find that helpful if you're just getting into mixing and you don't want to spend a lot of money. Alrighty, well, I'm out.